All right. Well, welcome back to day two, or week two. I always like to review some housekeeping on week two, just to make sure everybody knows the flow and how the program will work. So here are the dates. I'm sure you all have those in your calendar now. Today we're talking about templates and campaign structure, and we're going to show you how to send a basic campaign today. And next week, we're actually going to have Mary Ann de Alessandro come in as a guest speaker and talk about content planning. Just explaining some of the things that you can talk about. Oftentimes people get set up with Mailchimp and then they say, oh, okay, now what? What do I share? So she'll have some really great ideas with a little workbook. Then next week as well, we'll do the additional campaign elements and send some more campaigns. And then week 4, we talk about landing pages and viewing reports. Same link for all of our workshops. Please make sure you're in the Facebook group. You can certainly send questions, ask there. I know I got a few questions over email and PM and addressed those already. So great stuff. As I mentioned, you'll be getting training guide for each of the sessions. So week 2 was sent out 48 hours in advance. And I sent it a reminder today with it. I have it here as well. We'll take a look at it in a moment. These are the topics that we covered last week. For most of you, you already had a Mailchimp account. Some set up the Mailchimp account over the course of the week. We talked about managing your audience, viewing what I call the contact list or contact table. And then we talked about adding individually, one by one, as well as importing contacts or subscribers. And then I showed you how to access the contact table, do a search for an individual, open up their contact profile, and then edit information. If I didn't talk about deleting subscribers, I'll do that today. And the difference really between what is a subscriber, an unsubscriber, a non-subscriber, what's a cleaned and archive. So we'll break those down for you today. And then we had you set up your form. And I know some of you have shared your forms with me and they look amazing. We talked about adding and deleting fields, the importance of letting them self-select the areas of interest to help you segment your emails. We talked about modifying the appearance and showing you where to find the link and the many ways you can share it, and how easy it is to actually update it and share it with your audience or prospects. All right. So now we're moving on to week 2. And today we're going to talk about creating a template. I hope that you all have a basic understanding of what the word template means, but I'll explain that. We're going to show you how to create a template from scratch. And we're going to show you how to choose your styles, colors, any of the branding that you currently use for your social media, your website. That branding guide, we're going to recreate it here inside Mailchimp. And then we're going to show you how to add content blocks and layouts and how to edit and modify the content blocks. Okay, content blocks are basically, they're placeholders. They're placeholders that hold text. They're placeholders that hold images. They're placeholders that hold videos. Okay, so we'll show you how to add these various content blocks or placeholders when creating the template and rearrange the layout, so on and so forth. And then once we have our template created, we're actually going to show you how to create a campaign. And that's really just a way of saying an email. There are different types of emails that you can create. So we'll go over those definitions, and then we'll get in and show you how to walk through the steps of entering your information and specifying the audience, who the from field is, who the to field is, and I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks on how to help your emails get opened. And that's really what we want. So we want the emails to arrive in their inbox, and we want them to feel compelled to open that. Okay, so yeah, we're going to show you how to as well send test message to yourself and how to view preview before you send to your audience. That's really important. And then I'm going to talk about tags. So we do have a lot ahead of us today. If we don't get to tags, I'm sure we will, but if we don't, we'll definitely cover it at the beginning of next week. Okay. I love working with tags. You'll see in my Mailchimp account, I have hundreds of tags. Every time someone registers for a course or they sign up for something of interest, a networking event, they're automatically assigned a tag. And then I can segment my audience and send emails just to that group of people. So very cool to use them. So we'll show you how to sort and filter and find contacts based on tags. All right. So any questions so far? All right. So what we're going to do first today then is we're going to create a template. And a template is just a preset layout. And the way I like to think of it, if you're not really familiar with that terminology, is way back when I first started in the corporate world, we had this stationery, right? At the office, in the office kind of photocopier room, there was a stack of stationery. And that stationery had the logo, the heading, the footer had the address. That was a template. And we would get that stationery and put it in the typewriter and type, or we'd get that stationery and put it in the photocopier to make our copies. So a template is just that. It is a preset layout, look, feel of email in this case, but it could be a document, it could be a social media, template, where you have a starting point for every one of your emails. And I really like that Mailchimp allows us, and we encourage you very much, every one of you sending out emails, to make sure that your emails, your branding in your emails matches what they're going to see on your Instagram, on your website, on your LinkedIn. You want it to be cohesive. So when we're creating the template, we can put in any kind of blocks. I mentioned them earlier, images, logos, any kind of reoccurring template. I'll show you how to get your social media buttons in there. And if you just kind of look on this right-hand side, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. There are a variety of template styles that you can choose from. And then from the template, you can then build your template. All right, so we're going to start with a Mailchimp blank template, and then we're going to build on top of that our template with our logo, titles, our fonts, our size, our color, any kind of layout that we'd like as a starting point, our end information or our signature information, and our social buttons. Okay, so these are the least things we'll do today, but you could even get more advanced based on what your current style and branding is for your organization. Okay, then we're going to get into campaigns, and I'll come back and talk about campaigns when we do that. But just to give you an idea, we start off with this blank. We customize it to make it our own custom template. And then from the template, we use that to create our campaign. And the campaign is where you actually have specific titles, verbiage, images, and call to actions for that particular or specific email campaign you're sending out. All right. So I'll leave this one for now. It looks very busy, but it's a breakdown of sending a campaign. So let me go back over to Mailchimp. Can everyone see that I've switched to Mailchimp? Okay. So, let me go to my other account. Sorry. I was actually working in here looking at some reports to see my open and click rate from some campaigns that I recently sent out. So let me just switch over to the reason I'm switching over is because my my account is a classic, an old account. It's grandfathered in, so it might look different from you guys who've just recently created your new accounts with the newest version of the free application. Okay, so can you see I'm in my 100 Women mail account? Did you see how that switched over? Just want to make sure it didn't get stuck. Okay, so what we're going to do now is on the left-hand side, we're going to scroll down to the section called content. And when you get to content, you're going to click on email templates. So are you guys following along? Do you have the screen open on one side and me on the other and you're working away? Excellent. I love it. I love that you're going to have action done by the time the class ends. Okay, so what you're going to see here is a long list of all of the different, really, these are the different templates that I created during the training sessions. So what I'm going to do is in the top right-hand corner, I'm going to click on Create Template. And for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a template to welcome new members, okay? So you can see over here on the left-hand side, it says choose a template to start from. You will have probably nothing in your saved templates. You can see, again, I have a variety of thumbnails listed here for just different test templates that I have created. If you scroll down, you'll see the Mailchimp templates. And when you scroll down across the Mailchimp templates, you will be able to you'll get a thumbnail to see what that particular template starting point would look like. Okay. And then as you continue to scroll down, you will see from basic to more advanced, depending on what version or what plan you have, you may or may not be able to use these. Okay. Some of these templates would only be available in a paid plan. So that we're all starting off from the same starting point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to select the minimal, okay? So under Mailchimp templates, I can see a variety of templates. I'm going to select minimal, very basic. I'm going to then click the select button and give it a name. So I'm creating for you as a sample, a welcome message to new members. This particular Mailchimp account is for a community group that I run. So once I've entered in the name, I'll click the save button. Now, when I click the save button, it automatically opened up with my logos inserted into the template. Let me just step back one step for a second. Let me just save this template and exit. I just want to point something out to you. Where it says the content, okay? If you go to the creative assistant, under content, you will, if you haven't already done so in the setup fields, you will be able to add your content or your branding here. So if you're following along with me here, go ahead and just click save and exit to come back to the screen, to the main screen, and then go to content to creative assistant. So what you'll see at the top of this section is the 3 sections: creative designs, design library, and brand kit. Okay. I just wanted to show you that when you click on brand kit, it allows you to upload your logo, your fonts, your colors, and your button style. So you simply will click on the placeholder where it says logo, and then you'll click the add logo button. And then you're going to upload the logo from your hard drive, your Google Drive, wherever it happens to be stored. So hopefully you have some branding already done for your business that you can utilize. Okay. So you're going to upload. I'm just going to grab a different version here. You can upload as many logos as you want. Okay. And when you upload the logos, then you'll just click on the save button. I am making so I uploaded multiple logos. They're just variations of my logo. You may have only one logo. May have multiple logos. You can decide what you want to upload so they're accessible to you and you can use them at any time. You can also select one of them as your primary. So when you hover over top of, if you have multiple logos, if you hover over top of the logo, the icon, you'll see the gear. You can click on the gear and then you can choose it to be your primary by checking the checkbox. Okay, so again, if you only have one logo, just upload your one. If you have multiple, because some of you might have logos that are in your full color and some might have logos variations in white or black. As you can see here, we have a few different variations. If you don't have variations and you'd like variations, you can use Canva, upload your original logo, and then you can use the feature called duotone, and you can change that to white or you can change it to black. Okay, sometimes it's helpful when you are creating in Canva that you have white and black or sometimes gray or whatever your second or third primary colors are in your branding. So once you've got your logos uploaded, you can save the changes. And then you're just going to click on every one of the under fonts. You'll click on the add font. You can choose the fonts from the drop-down list if you know what the fonts are. If you have a paid font, you can upload the TTF or the OTF or the WOFF files. Okay, so if you have specific fonts that are not free fonts and you can upload those. Again, this is all about consistency in your branding. And then colors, you're going to click on colors, and then you're going to add in your primary colors by clicking the add color button. And hopefully you know the hex color code, and then you can just type in the hex color code. Again, if you don't know what the hex color code is, you can actually upload your logo to Canva and you can find the color code from there. So if anybody is not sure, you can speak with me afterwards and I can show you how to do that. Okay, so you're going to upload all of your colors, and once you get your colors in place, you'll click Save Changes. And lastly, there's a button style. You can go ahead and add button styles to your brand kit here. Okay, and then square, rounded, fill. Let's go ahead and take a look at the different options. Again, matching in line with the consistent look and feel of your website and your social media branding. And you can also choose the buttons to be primary. Okay, so once you have your buttons in place, you can click Save Changes. So how is that looking for you? Were you able to go in and select the information? Make your choices? Awesome. How about Tovi? Are you just watching Tovi? Or are you working along with updating as well?
I'm just watching right now.
Okay, cool. You have some amazing branding, by the way. You know that with your yellow, purple, and white. Okay, so once you've got the kit all set up the way you'd like, then we're going to go back to email template. Sorry, I should have immediately gone there first. So Hura, what you may have done is started the template like me, given it a name, and then saved and exited. So if that's the case, then you're going to see now that you have one template sitting there in your list, and you can go ahead and click on the edit button. When you click on the edit button, now you should see your logo in the document or in the template. Okay. So if you chose the exact same template as me, you'll see it probably at the top and down here at the bottom. And of course, we can change those. This is just the default template that we selected. So I want to point out some things that are happening here on the screen. When we are, you both know how to work with Canva, so that's great. It's similar. On the left-hand side, we have the main menu, and then the add, the styles, the optimize. And then every time we click on one of these main menu items, we see the middle section changes and it gives us additional options. So for example, when I click on add, what I can see are the content blocks. So I can add in a heading content block, paragraph, button, divider, spacer, image, logo. I can access the creative assistant to grab content from my library, video, social, survey, code, apps, product, and product recommendations. Okay. So we're going to be working with most of these today and next week. So I'll also point out to you that when you're on add, there's a layout tab. The layout tab is pretty cool because what it allows you to do is choose multiple columns to add into your email. But I want you to be cautious about using this because we won't see multiple columns on the phone. When our users, our readers are looking at the email on the phone, we won't see multiple columns. It'll be one image or one placeholder after the other instead of side by side. Okay, just pointing that out to you. It'll appear as it's shown here on the desktop when people are looking at it, but not on the phone. It appears one image after the other. Yeah, I know. It's just good to be aware of that. So sometimes I don't even bother doing that because most people now we know they're looking at stuff on the phone, right? I think both of you are in the same situation there. Okay. So, but I will show you how to use them. So content and layouts. And then when you go to styles, you can click on these drop-down lists and see the different options for changing the style of the particular object. So the email background, body, and if you want an image in the background. Okay. The text, if you want to change the font type, size. Okay. So these are all the different settings or changes that you can make to the elements that have been added onto the template. All right. And optimize, we'll talk about that when we actually get some information in here. And usually don't use optimize when I'm creating a template, but I use optimize when I'm sending out a campaign because it's looking for broken links and it's looking for merge tags that are not working. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to add. So those are the three menus, and within each menu, the sub menu choices. Now, let me explain over here on the right-hand side. These are all what they call content blocks. I just refer to them as placeholders. And very similar to when we're working in Canva, when we click on one of these blocks or one of the objects inside the block, what happens is we see options appear on the left-hand side that allow us to make changes, modify, so on and so forth. So if your logo is not there, there will be a logo placeholder and you can click on it. And when you click on the logo placeholder, then you can add in the logo from your desktop. Okay. So once you're, or if it's the wrong logo or you want to change the logo, you can see on the left-hand side, the logo is there with the placeholder. And then I have a replace logo button. So I can go ahead and click on replace logo. And then I can choose one of these items on the left-hand side. My files, these would be files you've already uploaded, my logo. And then you can go ahead and choose what you're looking for here. Okay, and then whatever one you like, you can go ahead and select. Okay, so once you get your logo in place, I want to point out on the left-hand side some additional options. With your logo there, it's always a great idea to link your logo back to your website. So here where it says link to, you can go ahead and put in your URL. Okay, so I'm not gonna type out mine. Sorry, I'm just gonna copy and paste it from the page where it resides, just so I don't make any spelling errors. Now I'm gonna go back to Mailchimp and I'm going to paste that URL in. Okay. Now where it says alt text, I want you to know that not everyone's email service provider, like Yahoo or Gmail, is automatically going to load images. For example, with Gmail, mine is set so that it doesn't load images. That way, the emails will load faster. I have to click on a button that says load images and then they appear. So this logo, for example, when I open up Gmail, it won't automatically appear. What will appear instead is a little placeholder and the alt text. So when you see the alt text field, then you can go ahead and put in any information that you want to appear in that spot if the text doesn't load. Okay, alt text is becoming pretty familiar to a lot of the apps. And in fact, Instagram and LinkedIn, if you use alt text, what's really cool is that it helps with your SEO. I'm using the new builder. That's right. So do you have the classic builder? Because I can show you a demonstration with the classic builder. To be honest with you, I much prefer, after using the classic builder for years, I much prefer the new builder. The settings and these additional specifications are so much easier with the new builder. And so when we were in last week's class, Tovi, I showed you if you go to settings, you can actually switch to default to the new builder.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I still am getting confused between the two, but yeah, I'm trying to get used to it because I learned a valuable lesson a few weeks ago when I recreated a whole bunch of stuff in here to only find out that I couldn't pull up the template because it wasn't in the new builder and I had to recreate them all. So I'm not trying to
Oh,
live that nightmare again. So I need to get used to them. So I just wanted to make sure that this is the new builder that we're using.
yeah. And it's interesting that you should say that because I was resistant for a while. You know, we're kind of the old dog, new trick kind of thing. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
comfortable. I just want to stay with the comfort. I know. But I be honest with you, when I started teaching Mailchimp again, because I took a pause for Mailchimp for a while last year, I everybody who was joining with the new new
Yeah.
Mailchimp, Toby. So I was like, okay, well, looks like I've got to do this, and I do actually like it a lot better.
I do like, yeah, I'm getting used to it now. I just got to remember when I'm building stuff out to make sure that if I want to use templates and stuff, that I do it the right way. Otherwise, I'm going to be recreating a lot of stuff and I don't have time for that. So,
Okay. So alt text, then block background. If you want to have a background color, you can. I don't want a background color. And yeah, so just go ahead and make sure that you choose whichever options that you like to specify each one of the objects. Okay, so that's your logo, but please, I would recommend you have a link to your website. The idea with social media and with email marketing is that we're driving people to our website and we're getting more traffic there. Because once we get them there, then hopefully they see something else that they like and place an order or download a freebie or, you know, book a consultation or an appointment. So once you have the specifications for the logo, you can click done, and then you can go ahead and click on the next block. So the next block is text. So you can decide if you want to make any changes to the text inside this text block. Now you'll notice that this text block didn't display formatting options for the text. With a text block, Here it is on the top. So you should see this formatting toolbar and it should look very familiar to you from any really email service provider or, Docs or Word or whatever. You can see the different options. So you can go ahead and change any of the wording and any of the font, the type, the size. Now I am creating right now a template as a welcome message. So I am going to say, welcome new member. Please note that normally if I was just creating my very first template, a standard template to use as a base for all of my emails, I would not be putting in specific text. I would just have the words enter heading here. Okay. In this case, I am creating specifically a new welcome email. And so that's why I'm putting that there. And then inside the next text box is where I would type in welcome to, enter in my paragraphs. I actually have a message. And I'll just copy and paste it in a little bit. Right now, I'll just put in a little filler. Okay. But I do have 2 or 3 paragraphs that I would normally add in there. Okay. So once I enter that, remember, this is a template. It's a welcome message. It's a standard message that everyone's going to get. When I go to send this, I'm going to be adding in my merge tags. For now, I'm just going to leave it as is. Next, we'll talk about the image placeholder. So if you have a very specific image you want to use as the basis for every email, then you're going to select the image. If you don't have an image that you want to use as the basis of every email, but you want to choose the image every time you create an email, just leave it blank. Leave it with this placeholder. If you want to have an image, then like we did earlier, you click on the placeholder, go over to the image section, click the add button, and then upload. Okay, so again, this is for me different than my standard basic template. This is what I want to have as a welcome. So I'm going to use a specific kind of friendly looking image here. Okay. And then you can choose on the left-hand side, the alignment, left, center, right, full, link to web. Yes, I'm going to have it linked to my website again. I'm always going to be trying to drive information there. If I had any kind of welcome message on my website, then I would change the URL to be specific to that. Alt text, you can go ahead and put in whatever, 100 women who care, Mississauga, check presentation. Okay. And then again, choose the background, the colors, whatever you happen to want to put in there. And then add button. Because these are new members, what I want to do is I want to get them registering for events. So I'm going to have this button go to my meetings. I'm going to have it say RSVP for the next meeting. Yours could be book a consult. Yours could be download my freebie. Yours could be book an appointment. Hira, do you guys have an online booking system? Perfect. So you would probably want to have that as book an appointment. So go ahead and click on the button. When you click on the button, you're going to put in the URL. Again, I'm just going to pop over to the 100 Women website and I'm going to grab the URL for the meetings tab. I don't want to make a spelling error, so I'll just copy and paste. And then you can decide what the button shape should look like, the button size, okay, and then the color. So go ahead and choose your specifications based on your template. And then once you have, sorry, I'm going to grab my color here. So I'm just popping over to Canva right now and I'm grabbing the color code for my red. And then I'm going to go ahead and enter that into the hex box. Okay. Oops, that was for the outline. Okay. Let me do the same thing. Oh, there we go, because I've used it. Okay. Text, white, background color, so on and so forth. So you're just going to scroll down and enter your information. Over here on the right-hand side, I'm going to say what my call to action is. All right. And then I'm going to go down to the next section, which is our social media buttons, and go ahead and enter the social media URLs in each of these fields. So far, so good. So if you're gonna, I'll find the answer to that question, Toby. Off the top, it's not in this box, but I'll get you the answer to that. So after you've gone through, take a moment and do all of the buttons. So I'm going to, oh, Monica. Sorry, I just got a text message from Monica. Let me stop the share for a second. Just got a text message from Monica. You guys were okay clicking on the link, right? I'm just going to get her the link.
Yep, I clicked from the email that you just sent like an hour before, and I got right
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Okay. So as I said earlier, don't want to type these things out. So I'm just popping over to Facebook. I'm going to go to the 100 Women Facebook page, and I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, the same thing with Instagram. I'm just going to pop over to Instagram and grab the URL. It's quite long. I don't want to make an error. And I will go ahead and enter it. All right. And then where it says Twitter, if you have it, go ahead, put your handle in. If not, you can delete it. So we don't have a Twitter account, so I'll delete that. If you want to click on add another social link, you can do that. And then from the drop-down list, you can select email, website, Pinterest, LinkedIn, whatever you'd like. Okay, and just to fill in the information as needed. Okay, so again, we're completing all the content here for our template, whatever template you're creating. Now, I want you to notice something on my screen if you can. Can you see at the bottom where my social buttons are? There's a red exclamation point. Do you notice that? Did I lose you guys? You're there.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm just on mute.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I didn't hear any. Can you see that red exclamation point? The red exclamation point is telling me there's an error. So what happened when I copied and pasted over, I didn't clear out the content that was already there. So I just went up and deleted. It just had Instagram.com in place before I copied the URL. Okay, so that's there. All right, so you can decide on the icon styles, you can decide on the sizes, you can decide on the alignment, the spacing, the color, so on and so forth. Okay, so far so good? Okay, so once you have your, and if I could just say less is more in design, in case I didn't say that yet, less is more in design. You just want to have these subtle branding things in your templates. All right. So Everyone's okay so far. Kira, yours is probably looking gorgeous and beautiful. I'll just point out that there are these additional content fields. So if we wanted to add the sign off or the signature, what I would do is I'd go up to content and I'd click and hold and drag the paragraph um, content block in. Okay, and then I would go ahead and enter the information for the sign off. Okay, so I don't know what your sign off is for your business. I haven't, don't know if I've ever received email from you, Kira, or is it your mom's contact information or?
Yeah, it's her contact.
Yeah, it's
Like
your contact
a
information.
little bit about her and then like a picture of her. Yeah.
Awesome, great. And so, yes, you can go ahead and enter whatever information that you need to. I always like to, of course, have the phone number and the email address listed every time in the bottom of the emails. Okay, just to make it quick and easy for someone to get a hold of us if this is being forwarded, right? And so just go ahead and enter your information. This is and then here you can also put different links. Remember last week, Kira, we were talking about the sign up. We are talking about the sign up. So in the signature, you could put something here, sign up for our weekly, monthly emails with the link to your newsletter. Okay. Um, if they're getting this email, they're probably already on your newsletter list, but it doesn't hurt to have that there. If you have any kind of specials that you'll be sending out, like maybe once a month you're doing promos and it's just for past clients, then you could also get them to sign up there using your link. It could be a link to your sign up page or to your landing page, and we'll talk about that. So for example, Toby, you might have freebies, and it could be download my XYZ freebie, right? So just another way of getting them into your web. Okay, so once you have filled out all your information there, I will just go back to done. And I'll just talk about a few others. So the heading field is just very similar to the text field. Button field, this template came with one button, but we could easily click, hold, drag and drop any button we want into the document or into the template. If it's in the wrong place, then you'll see when you have a content block selected, you'll see that there is a floating toolbar. There is 3 buttons on the toolbar, the move, the duplicate, and the delete, so that you can move it around anywhere you want to drag and drop it in any specific place in the template. So I'm going to delete that. Since I've already done some branding here, I would just click this duplicate block. And then when I duplicate the block, I do that a lot in Mailchimp. I do a lot of duplicating. I do a lot of replicating because the content or the branding or the coloring, it's already specified or selected, right? So then I can go, once I duplicate the block, and click on any one of these. And then change the information. All right, so you can go ahead and do that if you have more than one button you wanted to add, and keep it or delete it just to give you an example, okay? We have the divider. So if we have lots of different sections, or if we have different content that we're sharing, then we can add a divider. So let me just grab some content here so I can show you what I mean, okay? So I'm just going over to 100 Women to the homepage right now, and I'm just going to grab some content. And I'm going to go back to Mailchimp to my document, my template, and I'm going to click done here, and I'm going to bring the divider in, drag and drop it. And then I'm going to click done, and then I'm going to grab the paragraph and drag and drop that in. And then I'm going to paste the content that I grabbed from the other. Okay. So the divider just allows us to have sections. They're very common, very popular in WordPress or website. And I use them a lot with my own emails. When I'm sending out an email, I might have a section for events, and then I'll have a divider, and then I'll have a section for freebies, and then I'll have a divider, and then I have a section for, member spotlights, things like that. Okay. So you can add in dividers. They can be helpful for separating different content within your email. Spacers, just adding an extra space. Image, we already showed you what the image was or how it worked, but we didn't bring one in. So it's just a matter of dragging and dropping all of these in. Toby, do you see how the similarities to the classic from compared to the new? And I just find that adding in these content blocks here makes
Yeah,
the formatting just so much easier.
I agree. I agree totally.
Yeah. Okay. So the other thing that I'll show you is video. Okay. So when you drag and drop a video in, what happens is on the left-hand side, it's just going to ask you for your source. Okay. So again, I'm just going to go to YouTube and I'm going to grab a video from my YouTube videos just to show you what that will look like. Okay. So you wouldn't really ever embed a video. You are always going to be copying the URL from the video source, whether it's Mailchimp, or sorry, whether it's YouTube or Vimeo. And you're going to, let me just go down here and grab, you're going to copy the video link. I learned a tip recently I want to share with you. Usually when I go to YouTube, I would copy the URL link, but not all apps or programs are going to bring over the thumbnail from the URL link. What you should do is copy the video link from the copy button. Just a little tip I learned recently when I couldn't figure out what my YouTube thumbnail wasn't displaying. Okay, so then once I have the URL, I can go ahead and just paste the link into the source field. When I paste the link in, I can see the thumbnail appears and you can see the YouTube icon. Okay. So I know that your mom's doing a lot of videos here. She's doing a lot of great stuff. So it's good to include, in your emails, you could have a section that's just, here's the tip of the week, or you've never had XYZ treatment. Here's how it works. It's something for the audience to look at and get them familiar with your style and with her expertise. And the same that we talked about earlier with the alt text, you can change that. So I'm just going to copy the information from the YouTube. And yeah, add that in. And you might want also, when you have your text box there, or your video box, explain, listen to the video below for a message from, or, right? So you could do that, or you could add in, like done, or you could add in a heading, drop it there, and then add it that way to go above your video. And then this would be a natural place to put a divider. Okay, if these were different topics. Is this making sense? So this is a welcome message, and this welcome message is welcoming people. If we had a message, let's say from the president, we would put that there. And then I'm having the RSVP. So this is a standard thing that's going to go out to everyone, every new member. Okay, so far so good? Okay, So once you have your template set up, then you would just save the template and exit. Certainly, always a good practice is to preview. So if you haven't done that, go ahead and click on the preview button. You can preview desktop version and you can preview mobile. Okay, then click X in the top right-hand corner after the preview. How is that going, Kira? Do you have it set up and looking as a basic? Probably doesn't have all this information in it.
It doesn't have, well, I'm still working on it, but it does there.
Yeah. And really, as a template, it's the basis, is the starting point. So a minimum, you would have your logo, you would have your signature, you would have your social media buttons, and definitely for sure a call to action button of some kind. In this case, probably book an appointment, right? And then when we go to create the campaign is when we would definitely change it up to make it more specific to the message that we're sending. So far, so good? Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna click the save template and exit. So I have this welcome message that I just created, drafted. Template. I also have this 100 Women Who Care basic template. Let me just click on that to open it and show you. And so this season's greetings template, actually, this looks like a full-on, this is not a template. This is a full-on email. Let me go back for a second. You can see because it has all those specific dates and times in it. I wanted to show you just another more basic my standard template. Okay, let me click on that. So here, just the placeholders, the logo, enter the heading, enter the body, placeholder for image. You can see I changed the divider line to red dash text, divider, welcome, visit our website. Okay, so basic information, really placeholders in our templates. Okay, so 10:58. This is a natural transition, I think, to or we should take a break as it's a natural break in time, because what we're going to do next is we're going to then take that template and use it as a basis for sending out an email. Okay, so let's take a 2-minute bio break. When we come back, we'll show you how to create a campaign in Mailchimp. Sound good, Toby?
Yep, sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, see you in a bit. Or 2 minutes, not in a bit, 2 minutes. Okie dokie. So I wanted to answer the question Toby had about the default stuff. Right, Toby, I can't remember what your exact question
It
was.
wasn't, it wasn't mine. It was, Hira's question.
Oh,
But it was,
sorry.
no,
Okay,
it's about the background color of all the blocks all at once.
okay. So let me go back into my welcome message to new members. Anytime you want to make a change to
I
an
think I
overall
did it, yeah.
setting.
And then you click email and then.
Yeah. So that's right. So you can go to styles and then you can choose from here. Whether it's a background image or a background color. Yeah. And also text. You can see paragraph, and then also the headings, right? Any of these can be changed to match your specific. So anytime I would bring in, for example, a block, let's say heading 1, anytime I would bring in a heading 1, if I changed the color to red, and then I went to add, and I brought in a heading, see how my heading changed automatically? Every time I bring it in now, it's that color. So if yours is the purple or the gold or whatever it happens to be, it'll change it across the template. Did you notice how the red? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't see because I imported a custom font and I don't see
Okay.
that font.
You don't see your font there?
No.
All right. So you went to paragraph. Let's check it out. Let's go to styles. Let's go to email. Let's go to text. And when you click on the drop down, you're not seeing your text in this drop down box.
I'm not seeing like my font.
Yeah. And you did upload it, right? Let me just go
Yeah.
here. And
In the
if you,
brand kit.
yeah, and it didn't load it. Is it in when you go to the body text? So just click on body text. And I just want to see in the formatting toolbar if it loaded it there.
Mm.
Didn't
Oh,
load it there. Okay, let me check that out for you and get back to you on that. Okay.
or maybe I can try reloading it, the whole thing, see. Oops.
So the styles works the same way. Like if we wanted our buttons to be a specific color,
There.
size, shape. Sorry?
It's not there.
Not
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll try that again. So while we were on the break, I actually put in a real message into my welcome. Welcome new member, and then dear, and then the content, the picture of all of us, and RSVP for the next meeting. I just wanted you to see that I changed it up. Okay, so I'm going to save and close. Okay, so far so good?
Mhm.
All right. So now we're going to create a campaign based on that template we created. Okay. And you can see I have many. So when I create them, I might use a couple of different ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to anything. You can go to campaigns. You can go to all campaigns. Basically, you're looking for the create button. The create button actually sits right there. Or when you go to all campaigns, it's create new. Okay. So why aren't my campaigns loading? Because I just wanted to point something out to you. We probably have nothing here because you haven't sent anything yet. You might still be working with a new account. So I wanted to point out that once you get going, your campaigns, every time you send an email, will be listed here. And what you probably will do after your first one is you will probably go to the down arrow and choose replicate. That's what I do every time. I just start from a previous email. For now, because we don't have anything, we're going to click the create new. Oh, did we lose Toby? Looks like it. Okay.
No,
So
I'm still here. I'm still
oh,
here.
oh, okay. I don't know why I only see. Oh, there we go. Okay. So when we click on the create button, we're going to be able to create a regular email. We're going to be able to create an automation, which is called a customer journey, or we're going to be able to create a landing page. So depending on the version that you have, paid plan or not, you may not be able to create any automations, okay? You will be able to create a regular email and a landing page. So this week it's regular email. And then next week it's landing pages, or the week after. I can't remember. It's coming up. So we're going to go to regular email and click design email. When we click on design email, it's going to open up a window to ask us to fill out some basic information. Okay, so the kind of information that it wants, we're going to start from the top left and go down to the bottom. The information it wants is the name of the email. No one will see this but us. So for example, I send out a weekly email to my mob community, and I literally call it weekly email dash and then the date. I try to send it out every Monday. So February 5th, February 12th, so on and so forth. But you can call this whatever you want. So I'm going to call this new member email Feb. What is today's date? 8th. Okay. Whatever you want to call it, this is for your information. Will help you to find it in your list of completed campaigns. Once you have entered the new email address, then you're going to specify the to. Who is this email going to? The default setting is that the email right now is going to all recipients. This is everyone in my database. I can click on the edit recipients button, and then I can specify who it's going to. I can go to the all subscribers in the audience, click on the drop down arrow, and then I can scroll down and choose to create a new segment, choose to send it to people who email address I paste in, any of my segments I have, and any tags that I have. So you won't have anything right now listed in your drop down. If you if you don't have segments, if you don't have an audience and you haven't been sending email, it pretty much should be blank at this point, except for some of those default ones. But you can see here, I have a lot of tags. I use tagging a lot. So I can specify based on any one of my tags, or I can use the pre-built segment called new subscribers. So let's see if I click on new subscribers. I'm not sure if I actually have any new subscribers in the database recently, but let me choose that. And what does new subscribers means? It means anyone who's added new to the database since my last email. So if I sent an email last week on Monday and added someone in on Wednesday, a new subscriber, then they're the ones who are going to get this email. So I'm going to choose new subscribers, again, because this email is a welcome to new members. If you're not segmenting at all, you just leave it as everyone in your list. I highly recommend you choose to personalize the send field. And the send field, what that basically means is instead of it saying bobsmith123@gmail.com, it would say his name, first and last name, or first name or last name, however you want. It basically inserts the merge fields. So do you remember last week we were talking about merge fields? We had first name, we had last name. Some of us left in the birth date field. Others added additional fields into our document. These are the fields. So we're going to choose first name, last name as the tags and save. This is, listen, this is for the inbox, how it will appear in the person's inbox, not what it looks like when they open up the email. I'll show you that in a moment. Okay, great. I specified any new subscribers, and I have 2 new subscribers since my last email. I'm going to go ahead and click on the hyperlink under 2 recipients. And when I do that, what I will see is 2 people, Natalie and Karen, have joined the mailing list since. Okay, either they joined through a landing page or they joined, they were uploaded manually. So that's the first step, is the to. The next step is the from. So this email, the default setting that I chose in the settings is steering team info at. That is the default. But for every email that I send, I could customize the from field by clicking the edit from. And then I could change it to Christine President, or I could change it to Anuja is actually our member, new members officer. So you could put that title as well. So this can be changed per email. And again, this can be any name you want. And that is the from field when you're looking at the inbox. Okay. So I'll change this up often when I'm sending email to my mob community to say Christine, founder, Christine, trainer, Christine, host, depending on the type of email that I'm sending, or I'll just leave it as Christine. You decide what you want it to be. I do recommend that if you put a name in here, it is friendlier and people are more inclined to actually open it, opposed to it just saying info at or hello at. Add your from name. Again, it personalizes it. So next is to add a subject. So I click on the add a subject box and I'm going to type in welcome, new member. And you can even add an emoji. So you can click on the icon and then add whatever you're looking for. And then you can go down to preview text, which I always also recommend. Preview text is like a snippet of information that tells people what's in it for them. Like, why should I kind of open this without opening it? Welcome message, links to our upcoming meetings. Okay, so if inside your email you're offering a coupon code or a free download, or there's a valuable update in your industry, definitely include that in your preview text line. And send time, you can click on the add send time. Depending on what plan you have, you can specify a time, choosing the date and time from this section here, or you can send now. So I'm going to be sending this now. So I will leave it, I will choose that option and click save. And then the next spot and the biggest point or the biggest amount of time that we'll be working on this email is to design the email. So we click on design email. When you click on design email, it opens up, select a template window where you can choose a Mailchimp template. But please note, choosing a Mailchimp template here means you're starting from scratch. What we want to do is we want to choose saved templates. And when you click on saved templates, it'll show you all the templates that you have created. So far you probably have the one. Creating templates is great, especially if you have different segmentations in your audience. So Toby might be dealing with VAs, she might be dealing with VA agencies, and she might be dealing with clients. So she could have different templates created based on that audience that she's sending the email to. Does that make sense, Toby? How you can create different templates based on the audience you're serving your information to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you already have templates set up for your biz because you've been using Mailchimp for a while?
I've been using it. Have I been using it efficiently? That's the question you need to ask, Christine. So no, I'm working on it though. This is why I'm here.
We are all a work in progress. Yeah, no judgment at all. I was just curious if you were
No,
already
for
doing
sure,
that.
for sure. But this is why I'm saying like this is like so important because as I said, that's why I kind of had the new builder question. Because when I figured out that you could do this, it like almost let me shed a tear because I was like, this is gonna save me so much time.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. I mean, and depending on what kind of correspondence you send out, if it's even like with some of my clients, I do regular reports and their reports are pretty standard. It's the same information. I go into Instagram and I go into Facebook and I capture screens.
Yeah.
So I create a template for that. And then I just pop in the new screen for that month to show the information. So it does save a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is a welcome message. So you can see this is my template that I just created earlier. I can apply it or preview it. I already know what it is. I'm just going to click the apply button. Now, when I click the apply button, what's going to happen is very similar to creating the template. I now have the information ready to go for these new members. What I want to do is click inside the text box, enter any new text or any new information, as well as insert my merge tags. So you see it says Dear Blank. I'm going to click inside the text box, and then I'll notice on the formatting toolbar, there is a merge tags drop-down list. All of these fields are the fields inside my Mailchimp form, my sign-up form. Okay, remember last week we were talking about, well, why do I need to add these fields into the sign-up form? And what information am I getting? You will want to add in the fields so that you can then insert the field into your email to create that custom feel, that custom, like I'm talking to you. Okay.
Quick question, Christine. So you know how last week when you did the form, right? You hid some of them. So even the hidden ones will show up in this list, right?
That is correct. All of
Okay.
the fields inside your form, because some of those fields are just for us. They're not
Yeah.
for the individual at all.
Okay.
Okay. And dear, so for example, Christine, we're happy to have you here, blah, 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 blah. So on behalf of the steering team and the members, welcome. Thank you for joining us. What I also like to do is add this field name sporadically inside the text, especially if it's a lengthier email. I like to add it sporadically. So I don't know, insert first name. So Christine, on behalf of the steering team and the members, right? Because when people open this up, they're going to quickly see their name. Their name is going to stand out, right? So you can drop the field names, the file names, F name, pardon me, anywhere you want. I'll also point out to you, so I'm just going to add a new line just as an example here. Let's say someone referred them. Let's change that to left alignment. We are so glad that merge field, my particular database has a referred by. So when they sign up, they put in the person's name, okay? Referred by. We're so glad that referred by referred you to our chapter. Okay, I'm just doing that as an example. To be honest with you, these last two people who signed up, I don't know if they actually have anyone in the referred field. So you got to be careful with that. But I'm just wanted to show you how you could continue to use these merge fields that you've chosen in your form. So I'm going to go with Kira right now. You may have changed it, but when I last saw your form, you had checkboxes for services. So you could actually send the email, you could filter the email and send it just to the people who said they're interested in X service. Because maybe you have a special promotion that month for just that. And then inside here, the body, you can say, hey, Betty, we know that you're interested in, and insert the text field. We're so glad to be able to offer you this special promotion this month, right? So that's how you can really kind of create some custom emails that are geared towards what people are really interested in learning more about or the services they're interested in procuring. Okay, so once you have entered all your information, you can format it any way you want. You see the formatting toolbar, so you can really just do the normal things you would do with an email. You can highlight, you can bold, change alignment, add in bullets. Okay, so this is just like any other word processor. If you needed to, you could change the photo, but that's the default one I've chosen. And then I have the call to action button. I might go one step further and say, here are our upcoming meetings, right? So let me just give you an example of what I mean by that. So I'm inside the specific email. I can add in a header. Upcoming meetings. And then I've got my header there. I can then go and add in a paragraph. We hope to see you soon at one of our, okay, upcoming meetings. And then I could list them with bullets. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. Info session, meet and greet, and giving circle. All right. So enter in your information any way you want, do all your formatting. I really hate center alignment. So I should have changed it in my default template to begin with in the styles. So there, and then we have the button. I can go one step further and I could say register now and make that a hyperlink, right? So what I would do in that case is I'd go to my sign up on my website. Okay, so in my example, I'm just showing you, I'm going to pop over to my website and I'm going to go to my meetings tab and I'm going to look for the first meeting that I was just talking about. So this is a specific URL for that meeting. And then when I've copied the URL, I can just click on the hyperlink button and then enter the URL into the field. And so now I have not only the button, but I have the hyperlink located here. Want to make it as quick and as easy and as seamless for my audience to take action. Does that make sense for everyone? Okay. So the more things that they click on, okay, first of all, open rate is really important. Obviously, we want them to open it, but once they open, we want them to click on things. So in order to get good click rates, we need to have things that they need to, that they want to click on, that they're interested in pursuing, reading, viewing, the actions that they want to take. Okay. So I will, do you have any questions? This is very similar, right? We did this earlier. We, same look and feel and drag and drop and put it all in. Okay. One thing I always recommend is you click the preview button. And then you can preview it. Now, not only can we preview it, we're going to go one step further here. When we're sending a campaign, we are going to preview the live merge tag. We've entered in tags, okay, for first name, Dear Natalie. So Natalie, you can see that Natalie wasn't referred by anyone. So that you'd have to be careful with that, but I wanted to use it as an example with you. If they were referred by someone, we are so glad that Christine referred you to our chapter. Okay. Now this is one record of two. See Natalie's information here. This is what it would look like to Natalie. I've chosen her first name, last name, as well as her email address. From, remember, I entered in Christine and the word president. There's the email. Here's the preview and the subject line. I can click on the next button. And when I click on next, I can see, again, the information. And I can continue to click next, 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 and view all of the names, all of the people's specific content that was entered. Now, really, before I send this, I would remove that line down here because there's no one in the fields. Once you're done viewing it in desktop, you can look at it and what would that look like in mobile. Okay, and next. Okay, previous. And then the other thing that I always do is I will send a test message. Okay, and I'll send a test message to myself. So I'm going to click send test message. Did everybody see where I got that from the drop-down list besides save and exit? The drop-down list, perfect. And then I'm going to put my email address there. christineobm@gmail.com. If you have more than one person that you would like to see, you would like to view the test message, you'll just put a comma. So what is your, I would like to send this to both of you. So what is your email address, Toby? Info at above all.
abovealladmin.ca.
Okay, just want to show you what this looks like. And here, where can I send this to you just so you can have a look?
Sent it in the chat. Hera.chohan@hotmail.com.
Okay, so you're not adding anyone at this point to anything. This is just the people on your team.
Wait, do you see my email?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Okay. And then if you wanted to put a message here, okay. So for example, once a week, I send, well, when we get into a busy season with 100 women, it becomes once a week. We send out emails, and I always send it to Xanthi, who's in charge of our communications, for her to review it. A second set of eyes is always great. So you can hit the send test button. This is not going to your audience members. It is just going to the people on the list. So now I'm going to go over to my Gmail account. And when I go to my Gmail account, I can see Christine, President. And then here's my preview, welcome message, links to our upcoming meetings. Subject, welcome, new member. And I can see the word test in front of it. Okay, so I'll open that. Now I want you to be aware that the field that we entered, remember we chose the field F name, which was first name. When you're testing, it comes across as either F name, the tag, or if you've chosen a default name or a default entry, it populates with that. It doesn't actually do the live merge tag that we saw when we were previewing it in live merge view. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like. And then what I do is I click on everything. So if that logo was a hyperlink, I'll click on it to make sure it goes to its destination. If this video or if this was a hyperlink, I'll click on it to go to its destination. See here, the field name appears here by referred by, okay? And yeah, just click on everything. Click on all of these. You want to make sure that they work, right? You want to make sure they go to the correct destination before you send it out. Oh, looks like register now. I did not get the URL in there. So I'll have to go back and fix that. You see, when I rested on the first register now, I see the finger pointing, but it didn't get on this one. So the URL did not get pasted in there. RSVP, it got pasted in, and that's to our main page. Okay. Do you guys recall, did I talk about this field? This option? I'm gonna take you there for a second, explain that again. And again, test all these, right? First time you're using it, test it all. This default information has to be there for CAN law, the Canadian anti-spamming rules and regulations. Okay, and of course the unsubscribe. Can't get rid of any of this. You can change the line. See where it says you are receiving this email because that is the default. You can change that, and I actually should change that too. Instead of you opted in via our website to you opted in via our website or by registering to become a member or by registering for an event. That's what happens with this account. Okay, so I should really change that. Okay, so far, do you have any questions about the testing we just looked at? Okay, I'm back over in the email. I know I need to get rid of this because there's no information there for those two people. Okay, and I know I need to check this. Field and put in the correct, let me just grab that, the correct URL. So I'm just going back to the website. A lot of what I'm doing is copying and pasting things I've done on my website, on social media. I'm not really reinventing the wheel too much here with my email. Okay. I'll just put this third one in. And I will hyperlink that as well. Okay, back over here, click on my hyperlink button, paste my URL in. All right, so my email looks good. I usually always preview it another time just to make sure everything looks the way it should. And then I send the email. Okay, so close it. I'm actually not going to send this email because I'm not our memberships officer. She may have already sent it. So I'm not going to send it to the new people, but I did want to show you that cool feature. I'm just going to save and exit, and then I'm going to send it to myself so you can see what it looks like when it is sent. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I wanted to show you the feature of new recipients or new members, but I don't really want to send it to them because it's not my job per se. So that's new subscribers. What I'll do is I will say I'll show you the pasted one. I don't think you guys are on here, are you? Let me just check to see if you guys are here. Email. Probably not. This is not the right database for it. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to see if there's anything else down here. Let's see what the Mailchimp one is. Did I create that for you guys? I can't remember now if I created that for you. So how I can see is if I choose the Mailchimp, I can click on the recipients and it shows me. No, that was the last class. Okay. Edit recipients. New segment. Add filter. We'll do more of this in the next week's class. I'm going to go to new filter and I'm going to say first name is Christine. Let's see what I get for that because I'm sure I'm in the database. Review segment. Okay, so I actually have more than one Christine. So I need to revise that and say last name. Hull, and then review the segment. So you can, yeah, there you go. You can choose those fields that you and tags that you add in. You can filter and segment by that to only send your email to specific people. So I'll use the segment and I'll save. And then this is going to 2 subscribers, 2 email accounts that I have in this database. Okay. And it's ready to go. Now, before you send, actually, you know what? I'll leave this other part for later. I'll build on that. I don't want to get, I know I already said a lot of information if you're seeing this for the first time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just hit the send button. And it says, are you ready to send? You're about to send this email to my list to 2 subscribers. I'll hit send now. And you could do the same thing if you wanted to send it to yourself if you're working on something. Okay, so nice job. Your email is sending. It tells me the name of the email, the 2 subscribers, the total number of subscribers, the from, the subject, the send time. And then I can click this view email in browser option. And it will show me what it looks like. Sometimes when people say, oh, I didn't get the email, I will actually look at the email. I'll view it in the browser and see this URL up here. I will just share this URL with people. Say, oh, you didn't get it? Okay, here you go. Oh, hey, Prince. Do we need to upgrade the plan to send mails in bulk? What you need to do is you need to authenticate. So if you're, let me go back for a second. If the line where it says send has a red text that says you must authenticate, Mailchimp has made it super easy and it will actually do all the authentication for you. Now, I know that this account does not belong to you. It belongs to Sal. So what you will need to do is find out who Sal's website or hosting domain host is, and you'll need to get the username and password because it will ask you to enter that information and it will actually go and set up these special keys that it needs to send. So Prince, you could let me know in your window for sending, is there red text there that says you can't send until you authenticate?
No, actually, I was trying yesterday. So, like when I created mail and I tried to send to more than 100 people, so they were asking me to upgrade the plans.
Oh, they wanted you to, so she doesn't have a paid version. You wanted
Yeah.
to send the email to more than 100 people?
Yes.
Was it, really? I thought you could send more than 100 emails with your free plan. Did they change that? Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So with your free, mm, 500, you can have up to 500 contacts. I just want to see the plan. I don't want to. Why is it not listing the plan here? I don't want to sign up. Let me just see. I want to see the numbers. It has a great table. Okay. Monthly email sends 1,000. So I'm sorry, did you say more than 1,000?
No, like 100, I said.
No, that's totally fine. You can send for the free account, you can send up to 1,000 monthly emails. Now,
Okay, thank
my question is, you haven't exceeded that this month, have you?
No, not yet.
Yeah, okay. So then, straight, could you send me the text message or the message you got back? Because it may be about authenticating. This new rule took place, like it was announced last October, it took place February 1st. So anyone who's using Mailchimp needs to authenticate their domains. And Mailchimp has made it really easy that it will actually go through the whole process for you with your domain, whoever you're hosting with. So maybe you and I can talk afterwards, and I think that could be what it is. But also
Yeah, sure.
send me the message that you got.
Yeah, I will send you in my.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I just walked you through creating an email after we've set up and created the template. Okay, and I did this new member email. You can see it was sent. It has no opens and no clicks. So if I go to my email, I'm just refreshing. What's the test message still? Let me go to Yahoo. I want to just show you that when I open it, there we go. It always gets into my Yahoo account faster than Gmail. Just so you know, I've just noticed that. So here is the message from Christine, the president, 100, welcome new member. So I can open that. And then I'll go down and click on the info session, register now. Okay. Now, when I go back to Mailchimp and refresh my screen here, okay, hasn't quite updated yet, but it will show 1 in 1. Okay, I'm going to talk more about the reports on week 4, but you can also click on view report. Very slow today. Maybe I have too many tabs open. Okay, so you can see it here. This email called new member email was sent to 2 recipients. 1 recipient opened it, 1 click. Okay. The other thing that I'd like to look at is what was clicked, right? You can, we'll talk more in detail about this, but you can see some very high level information right at the top here. I can click on information and look at who saw what. Okay, more details on reports, but that's just going to give you a quick overview. So I want to just show you something. Sometimes people say, oh, I didn't get the email. Well, then I can go in and see if they got it or not to help me with my troubleshooting. So the email was sent to Christine Ho, right? Yahoo account. So I can go to all contacts. I can use my search icon. Actually, my filter is already set up for the segment. I was going to search for my name. Either way, okay, you want to open up the profile. And look here in this section. The at 11:44, an email was sent called new member. And I can see that opened, clicked, opened. Okay. In fact, I can see was sent the email, opened the email, was sent at 11:38, opened at 11:44, clicked on a link at 11:44, and I opened it again at 11:44. And I can see the link that was clicked on. Click on that to open it up. Okay. So sometimes people say, oh, I didn't get it. Maybe it went to their spam folder. Maybe they accidentally deleted it, so on and so forth. Whatever the reason is, sometimes that happens. So again, the URL for the email is usually what I'll send to them. I find it's the quickest and easiest way is just to grab that URL and say, oh, here, click on this. This is the email that was sent earlier. Okay. Shall we review that again? Shall we just go through the steps again? You guys okay with that? Any questions for what you saw so far?
No, I am good.
Okay, so let me just go through that one more time. I'm not sure when Prince and Monica joined, so we'll start again. We already created our template. It's there in the system for us. To create a campaign or create an email, we're going to click on create. And we're going to choose design email under regular email. So when you're creating an email, you start from the top and you work your way down by entering or specifying the information. So in this case, I'm going to send an email about our upcoming meetings. So I'm going to change the name of this to match my name that I'm going to be using for internal purposes. Okay, so I've got my title there, and it's asking me who this is going to, everyone, or I click the edit recipients button. And I showed you a few examples earlier. We went to new segment, and we also chose the new subscribers. I'm gonna locate, or this time I'll click on the pasted emails, just to show you an example. And what you can do is just paste the person's or type the person's email. They have to be in your database. If they're not, it actually would add them as a new subscriber. Okay, so you can type or paste it in. So I'm going to save the segment. Just another example of how you can segment. Okay, so go ahead and choose the personalization of the, I always choose first name, last name. This is, remember, what it looks like in the inbox. So it's going to one recipient. I can click on that link and it'll show me the recipient it's going to, their information, because this person already exists in my database. Okay, I'll just close that. I'm just working my way down now. If I want to change the from, remember the default is steering, and in the last message, I changed it to Christine President. So I can click on the edit from, and I can change this at any time. Christine Founder, make it whatever you want. 100 women, that's where it's coming from. It could be from your director, like however you want that message to be sent so that the person receiving it knows who it is. Subject, I'm going to go ahead and again, just to repeat, upcoming meetings, RSVP now. And in this case, I'm going to add a little emoji at the beginning, a calendar emoji. Sometimes these little emojis will help your message stand out in an inbox. Okay, it'll help your message stand out. Okay, so I have just typed in a preview. We have some exciting events planned and we cannot wait to see you. Okay, and then I'm going to save. So I'm just working my way down. I'm going to send this now, or once I'm done creating it. The other option is that I could, depending on the plan you have, if you have a paid plan, you could specify a time. So what time is it now? I'll make this 12:10. I should be done by then. Okay, so I specified Thursday, February the 8th. Oh, why did it not take 12:10? Maybe it doesn't, maybe the new doesn't like, okay, I have to choose 12:15. It's not letting me do. Click save. Okay, so I filled out all this information. Now it's time to do the actual email. So I click on design email. I can use a blank Mailchimp template to start with, but I'm not going to do that because it's going to be too much time. I'm going to go to my saved templates. And I'm going to choose one of my templates that was created previously. I'm going to choose the standard template and apply. And when that opens up, I can then go ahead and enter in all the information. Okay, so I click on the headings. And again, you can do any formatting with the formatting toolbar. Okay, and then like I did earlier, you can add in the hyperlink. In this case, it has a placeholder for an image. So I can click on that placeholder and I can decide if I want to upload an image or delete that. If I want to upload an image, I just click on add and then browse my images. And then I can browse an image that I've previously added to the database. Okay. Select upload, the image appears. Any other information, you can enter that. I've got nominate charities here. Select the word here, insert the hyperlink URL, and let me just go grab that as an example. And I'm adding the URL. Okay, I don't usually type. You could have typed that in. I'm pasting it in, nominate charities. Okay, this video was already there inside the template. I don't want it for this email, so I'll click on that placeholder and delete it. I have a visit our website button. I can see when I click on that, the left-hand side shows me all my formatting options, including the link. So that's a great link. I actually want a button up here to RSVP for meetings. So I can go to my add button over on the left and actually drag a content button in, a content block button in. But I like the way this is set up. So I'll click on it and I'll click on the duplicate button in the floating toolbar. And then I'll just drag this up. Change the order of these things a little bit. Okay, by dragging and dropping them around. I do need to change this. This message is all about meetings. It's all about meetings. So RSVP now. And I have my email set up. My template's got all my information already in place. It's ready to go. I'll click the preview button to preview it. One thing I didn't do with this one is I didn't add in a specific field. So let me do that in case you missed that from earlier. So let me close the preview. Upcoming meetings. Hello. And then I'm going to go to my merge tag and choose first name. Comma, change that. Okay. And then when I go to my preview now, and I turn on the live preview feature, it'll say, hello, Christine. Now this email is just going to one person, it's going to me. If it was going to 100 or 1,000 or 10 people, whatever, I could click on the next and previous buttons to take me back and forth to see the, oh, looks like I have an L there. I'm previewing this. Do you notice beside my name, it looks like there's an L? So I'm just going to close the preview and I'm going to go correct that. And I'm actually going to put in a comma. Okay. So now when I preview it and I turn on the live merge, I can see it says, hello, Christine. We look forward to seeing you at one of our upcoming events, RSVP now. Okay. And like I did earlier, I'll always test. So where it says save and exit, there is a down arrow. I click on send a test email. I will put my email address in here and send it to myself and test all the links, all the spelling, all the grammar. And you know what? I usually test, I look at it on my desktop and I look at it on my phone. Something is not valid. Oh, sorry, Christine, call 3. There we go. And send text. Test. Okay, so let me repeat what I just said there. I always send myself a test message. When I send the test message, I will look at it on my desktop and on my phone just to make sure that it looks good in both areas. I will usually only test the links in one of them. If it's tests fine in desktop, the links are going to work on my phone as well. Okay. And if everything is ready to go, then you can hit save and exit. And you can hit the send or the schedule button, depending on what version you have. You may not have scheduling feature, so this would be the send button. Okay, let me see. There's a question, I think, in the text box. Okay, thanks, Toby. What I wanted to do is just add a little bit of layer. The last time, this is what we did. We just hit the send, right? But I just want to add another layer here. If you are going to connect, if you're going to connect your Mailchimp to your Facebook, meaning I want to send the email to my audience, but I also want it to go on Facebook, okay? You can connect your Facebook by clicking off that option and then selecting the actual Facebook page. And what happens is, whatever the subject line is, see how it says subject upcoming meetings RSVP now? That is the subject line. And then do you notice this? Let me make this a little bit bigger. This is a field name URL. What will happen is it will actually put the field name in, it'll put the link, pardon me, to the email in the Facebook window. I'll show you, okay? So this is the page it's going to, this is the subject line. I'm just going to click on add images. To be honest with you, what I would do is I would create a specific image that talked about upcoming events. Okay, I just happen to have one there, but I would go into Canva and create a specific image to act as the thumbnail for this email. The email is going to go off, but it's for the actual Facebook post. Okay, and save. Please note that every time you send an email, it gets assigned an automatic email link based on your subject line. You can edit that. So you can click the edit button and then you can add additional information. Like I could, add Feb 8th onto the end of it. Okay, so this email that I just created is the upcoming meetings. It is going to go to one recipient. It is going to be scheduled at 12:15, and it's going to also get posted on my Facebook page. Okay, you could choose Instagram too if you wanted by connecting that. Okay, and then I'm going to hit the schedule button. And then it just repeats what I just told you. You have completed your email setup and are about to schedule your email for sending at a specified send time. The email subject, upcoming meetings, RSVP now. The send time is today at 12:15. And the 2 is I pasted or typed in the segment this time instead of choosing the generic all option or any of the segmentation options in the drop-down list. I'm going to go ahead and click on the confirm scheduling email. Okay, so that is scheduled to go off in 15 minutes. Again, you can click on this view email in browser. You can see what this looks like. And as I mentioned earlier, this URL, if someone didn't get the email, you can certainly copy this URL and send it to them. Okay. So when I go back to my section called all campaigns, in the campaign list now, I will see the campaign I sent earlier to new members. You can see it's updated now, one open, one click. And then I can also see the scheduled email and the date and time that it will be sent. It's in the queue ready to go. If there's a mistake that I notice that I need to access and fix, I'll have to pause and edit it. Okay, so you just walk through the same steps that we just walked through. So far, so good? Just walking through those steps again. Okay. Any questions about that? Queries, comments, thoughts, ideas? Okay, let me take you to the workbook. So you've got week 2's training workbook on templates, emails, and content blocks. And again, using the new builder. The things that we talked about, easily access the page number. I'm just going to scroll down. First thing that I have in the book is just explaining the template and campaign. And then we get right into creating a campaign, or sorry, creating a template using the new builder, walking through all those steps, choosing it, naming it, adding in the content blocks, previewing. When creating a template, I've laid out how you can customize your styles, right? Where you can add in your specific size, font, and colors. So they're always there for you and you don't have to choose them for every block you bring in or every email you create. It's like Canva's brand kit. Okay, so these are all the instructions on how to add those in. And then on page 11, I have adding content blocks. We'll talk about layouts next week. So we pretty much clicked on all of these. There's a few at the bottom that we didn't click on. They're a little bit more advanced. Okay. And it was just simple drag and drop. You drag and drop the square into the placement on the template. We'll talk about layouts next week, as I just said. Moving, removing, or duplicating blocks. And then I've given you definitions or explanations for all the content blocks that are there. And then on page 18, it begins starting the campaigns. And today we work with the regular campaign. We'll do more regular campaign next week, as well as working with the landing pages in week 4. So this just walks you through all the steps. Again, using the new builder, choosing the template that you created, filling in all the information, adding the new text, adding merge fields, previewing it, using the live merge tag, entering all the details. Okay, so far so good? Yes, all right. This was inserting the merge tags from the fields you used. All right. And then sending a test message. It's 12:08. I think we should leave our tags and segmentation to next week. We have a full session on that. Start from fresh. I know that this was a lot. There's a lot of screens in Mailchimp, so it can seem very daunting or overwhelming. But I would encourage you highly, highly, highly to get in there this week after seeing the demonstration, after hearing the explanations, Get in there this week and practice. Create your template. If you haven't already done so in today's class, create an email, send it to yourself so that you get the, you get a feel for all the steps involved. Again, it does seem like a lot, but once you just practice a few times, it's very repetitive and you'll notice the screens repeat. Okay, so Monica, the week 2 workbook, 48 hours before each class, I send out the agenda with the workbook. So I'm hoping that you did get the email for week 2. I actually sent out another reminder this morning. I guess it was about 9:30 with the Zoom link and the workbook again. Maybe you and I can talk offline because I just want to make sure you're getting those emails. The other thing is I'm going to go to Facebook right now into the Mailchimp private training group. Sorry, let me close these windows down. Into the Mailchimp private training group, you should see, sorry, I just want to close this. I've got too many windows open here. If you go, I pasted the information here for you. And, oh, sorry, the link is missing. But when I paste this in, I basically copied it from the email and there's usually a link there. But the email that was sent, yeah, let's talk offline. Okay, Monica? And make
Okay.
sure you're getting the emails because it was inside the email.
I don't get the emails.
Yeah, because you actually confirmed last week. I got the email. I'm like, oh, super. But
No.
yeah, we'll get you all set up. So stay on the line with me, okay? When we're
Yep.
done, and we'll fix it right now. Okay, I'm gonna stop the share. Is there any questions right now that you have for me? I'm just gonna copy something here. All right, you guys, if you don't have any questions, I am available in the Facebook group or via PM. Prince, last week you asked about tagging and I sent you that short video. Did that work for
Yeah,
you?
that was helpful. Thank you so much.
Excellent. And next week we're going to do tagging again, more in depth because I just sent you a 4-minute video, but we're also talk about
You
segment.
also sent us one mail. You also sent us one mail which was like there is a date of Tuesday. So is there any meeting on Tuesday?
Oh, sorry. I sent you an email that said Tuesday.
It's on
Yes.
the Facebook group. It says see you
Oh.
Tuesday.
Nope, that's my bad.
Yeah, even I was confused. So I asked,
Oh.
I thought like,
Yeah, my apologies. That should have said
Yeah.
Thursday.
yeah.
I sent it on Tuesday. Maybe that's why I typed Tuesday. No,
Yeah.
all of our dates are
For Thursday only.
Thursdays only. You got it. My apologies.
Okay.
I didn't spot that.
Yeah.
Yeah, every
That's why
Thursday.
that's why I joined late. I thought it's on Tuesday. So like,
Okay, if that ever happens again, that's my apology. I sent it on Tuesday. That's maybe what happened, but it's every Thursday. We're only meeting on Thursdays unless I have a special one-on-one meeting with you, then those will be separate and we'll set those up together. Okay. Yep, if you have any questions, please let me know. Next Tuesday, I will send you an email in the morning that will have the agenda for week 3 and it'll have the workbook for week 3. Okay. And Monica, you and I are going to stay on the line now.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. All right, you guys. Prince, if you have any other questions, or actually you and I need to set up a time as well. I want to help you out with why your 100 emails are not sending, okay? So I'm gonna, what time is it where you are? It's probably too late, eh? after I talk to Monica, it's probably too late to talk to you. Okay, I'll follow up with Prince. Maybe he already left the call. Okay, Monica. So first
Hello.
things first, let me go into, I'm going to go into my Mailchimp database. And what I'm going to do is look at your email account. Whoops, stop that. And see what's happening. So Monica,
Where's the email coming from? What's the address?
it's Christine at mob.ca. So a couple of things. We're going to check in my database to see if you're getting the email, or if you maybe unsubscribed. If you have unsubscribed for anything coming from me, then, okay, I can see 100 women. Okay, so you must have unsubscribed. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to send you a link to subscribe. And we'll get that straightened away. All right, just give me one moment.
Sorry, Christine.
Yes,
I don't know why I don't see these coming through, but I
it's
googled
interesting. Yeah?
your name, but it did come up. So
Oh,
I
it
don't know
did.
why it's not coming up in
Okay.
the list. Is it going to spam?
It could be. Can you do something right now and add the contacts to your address book? Is
I
it
have no
it
idea how to do that.
I'm going to show you. What email service provider are you using?
Gmail.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for example, when I open up an account, I can look at the person's name. So just open up an email by me. Do you see my screen right now?
Yep.
Okay. So you see I've opened up an email by Lori Jeffrey.
Yep.
I can see her name. If you kind of hover on top of my name there
Okay.
is